formal part of the pregame is now done. Now it's time to get yourself ready for semifinal action. Cairo International Stadium. Good crowd on hand for this one. Sly, who's feeling more pressure going into this game, Algeria or Nigeria?
Algeria. They haven't won the AFCON since 1990. That's a long time. I mean, Victor Moses was probably still in his mother's womb the last time they won the African Cup of Nations. And he doesn't even play for Nigeria anymore. And he's still 28 years old. So the pressure is definitely on Algeria.
As you look at their starting 11, they're going to come out in a 4-4-2. Jamel Belmadi deciding to go with that. Sofiane Feghouli, Riyad Mahrez, where's the captain's armband, and then you have the two attackers, Youssef Belaili and Baghdad Bounedjah, who was let off the hook versus Ivory Coast after he cranked his penalty kick off the crossbar, and he was despondent until they won that game. And now he gets a starting spot here in this semifinal, and you can bet if he gets another chance with a look-at goal like that, he's not going to miss.
Rightfully so, because he's actually been their leading striker. He's played very well for them at this AFCON. Quick thing to point out, both teams, their weakness, goalkeeping. Rising Boli on the Algerian side, Daniel Akpeyi on the Nigerian side. The average Nigerian has their hearts in their mouths every time the ball goes back.
Hang on a second. Algeria's allowed a single goal. And you're saying that goalkeeping is their weakness?
Rising Boli is their weakness.
Really?
You watch out today. Rising Boli is Algeria's weakness.
10 goals scored, 1 goal against for Algeria coming in. As you look at the VAR room, we saw the VAR room, of course, in the last game. They had some calls to make in the last semifinal game. As we take a look at Nigeria's starting 11.
Yeah, you're looking at the same lineup that came out against South Africa. No changes. Daniel Akpeyi in goal. Genatro decided to go with him. Two center backs, William Troost-Ekong and Omeru. In that midfield, it's Iwobi, Etebo, Ndidi. Watch out for Chukwueze and Musa to hug those flanks and take it, especially Musa. But the problem with Musa is it's a final product. He's got the speed, but the crossing is the issue. Hopefully his crosses are better today.
And he's also on a yellow card. Another player that could miss the final if he gets a card in this semifinal match. Jamel Belmadi looking to take Algeria to the Cup of Nations final. Gernot Rohr looking to do the same. Let's send you down to your commentator, Dwayne Daloka. Enjoy the first half. Nigeria versus Algeria.
The second semi-final of the Total Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019, is underway. It is the West African, North African battle as Algeria and Nigeria go head-to-head here. Certainly the power bases in African football dictate that this is the dominant area of football. North versus West in both of the semi-finals, as the early challenge from Adlin Guedioura on Udin Igalo perhaps signals what might very well be the storyline for much of this time. Algeria looking to make their first final since winning the title in 1990 against the Nigerian side, who will be looking to win the title in successive editions they've competed at, having failed to progress to the African Cup of Nations since winning the tournament in 2013. This is their return. Looking to go on and win it. They are 90 minutes away from the final potentially. Standing over this, Genatro Etebo, phenomenal footballer and one of the most dynamic footballers I've ever seen. Feeds from the set piece. Early chance for Nigeria is fairly comfortably defended here by this Algerian side. Belaili looking to get on the end of a ball that Musa escapes with. Etebo inside, and Ben Lamri will just hoof this ball away back into Nigerian territory, where it's brought under control by the very impressive Jamilu Collins, a man who has had to step up first in the squad. Ellison Ichijile is widely expected to be playing. He's had to step up in so many respects as Collins, and he's taken his opportunity with aplomb. Kong laying it forward by Chidozie Oaziem, but Ben Nasser effectively winning it back in the middle of the park for Algeria, whose fans break into song immediately and look to encourage the Desert Foxes to a victory over Nigeria. Well, the Carthage Eagles had their wings clipped by Senegal's Teranga Lions. It will be the Desert Foxes who clip the wings of the Super Eagles, or can they soar highest in tonight's semi-final? It's Baini, the Rennes-based defender, laying it back towards Mondi, who is a right-back by trade, so there must have been some discussion about potentially breaking that central defensive partnership that Mondi and Ben Lamri have managed to create to replace the injured Youssouf Attal, who was superb down the right flank for this Algerian side in the early stages of the competition, but a broken collarbone in the quarter-finals means Mehdi Zafan of Rennes, like his opposite wing-back Rami Benzbaini, the left-back. The two both play in France from the same club. So Zafan starting on the right. And one real change, Feghouli having recovered from injury. That's the young Chukwueze. 2018 Nigerian Football Federation's Young Player of the Year. Rising talent. Finally found his first international goal when he scored in the quarter-final over South Africa to become the tournament's youngest goal scorer. 20 years and 49 days old, Samuel Chukwueze. If anybody had seen him playing in La Liga this campaign, they would know that he's got something special about his ability on a pitch. Speaking of, Chidozie Uwaziem, he's been nothing short of utterly impressive and dominant in defence in the matches he's played. Brief moment forward to Chukwueze and then back to the defence. Trying the long ball forward for Nigeria. It's kept in play and an opportunity down that far flank. Musa has Igalo running on his inside here. Can't quite get the cutback in, but Nasser with a little touch escapes with possession. Mahrez will see a throw to Algeria on the far flank, where it's a delegation sit, including Amadou Pinnick, the man in charge of the Nigerian Football Federation. Among those who played in the Legends game with Amadou Pinnick. It's been much of the celebration and build-up to this tie. Legends games that's seen the likes of Mwanku Kado and Daniel Amokachi playing, the former Nigerian stars. Handful of Senegalese players as well, who already wait in the final. Legends from Senegal, including Kalou Fadiga and El Hadji Diouf among those who were competing. And right now the focus very much on Algeria and Nigeria as Ben Lamri goes back to Mboli, who's on his first touch in the game. Quality all-round footballer. But he did concede his first goal at the tournament in his last match. Mondi. Switching out wide. Just knocking the ball around. Soufiane Feghouli having slid into a wide position. Long ball forward. Just asking a little too much of Baghdad Bounja. A man who looked utterly remorseful and completely disconsolate by the penalty miss that he struck onto the crossbar and out and over for the Algerian side in their quarter-final tie against Cote d'Ivoire. They would have seen them take a 2-0 lead. Jonathan Kodja subsequently equalising for a Cote d'Ivoire side that would eventually go out on penalties as Algeria advanced. Yes, Chukwueze runs onto a free ball in the middle of the park. Great vision here. Lays it in over the top. It's just gone agonisingly ahead of Ahmed Musa, always curling away from him, and on the slightly dewy surface that they've been watering virtually all day, the ball skids away from Musa and out of play. Wonderful vision again from Samuel Chukwueze. Guediora laying it out to Mondi for this Algerian side. Feghouli wants options. He sees Belaili on the near side. Belaili, he's got two men waiting for delivery to come. Is it going to come in toward the back post? It is there. And how is that wide from Bounja? Daniel Lakpe committed, missed it, and Bounja, it struck him out for the goal kick. That's a very timid appeal for a corner by Baghdad Bunja. Nobody there once it slid past Akpe, and again perhaps the skiddiness of the surface proving the undoing of the player rushing on. Bilaili proving creative, and how that ball has got past two Nigerian players, Akpe among them, the 33-year-old Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper, man who plays in South Africa. Signed after South Africa's long-time #1, Itumeleng Khune, picked up a shoulder injury this campaign, wasn't able to make the Bafana squad for this African Cup of Nations. Daniel Akpe signed to Kaizer Chiefs to step into the fray. Fuguli. This is lovely interplay from Algeria. They're getting the triangles right here in the early stages, but Nigeria still standing strong, watchful, and getting the basics right. Their heads aren't bobbing around. They are keeping their heads and showing some composed behaviour inside their own final third. Escape with possession and clear the ball successfully. Nigerian fans looking to out-sing the Algerian fans here. They certainly outnumber the Nigerian fans to the fans of the Desert Foxes. So this 20th international meeting between these teams. Nigeria having won 8, Algeria 7 of their previous ties, only 4 draws. It's almost always goals. This is their 9th Africa Cup of Nations meeting over the years. And each side winning 3, including their first Africa Cup of Nations title respectively. Sides have a bit of an undeniable continental history and link. Not only did they face each other in their first ever Africa Cup of Nations final appearance, but they each beat the other to win their maiden Africa Cup of Nations title on home soil. Algeria did it against Algeria in 1980 when they made their first final respectively, and Algeria made their second final. Nigeria, dominant force as well in the 80s. Lost out to Algeria in the 90s. Odion Ighalo and Jamal bin Lamri coming together. Bin Lamri. Type of player, though, that can genuinely disrupt any opposing attacks so well. And with a little aggression, can bully opposing attackers. So 10 minutes have come and gone at the Cairo International Stadium, and goalless it remains in this 20th meeting, with Algeria searching for that first Africa Cup of Nations final in 29 years. Nigeria looking to take a step closer toward their 4th title. Bilaili here inside the area. Bilaili looking for support. Feeds it out wide. Figuli. It was nearly a heavy first touch. It's still alive for Algeria. They've got players gathering, and Akpe punches away. Only as far as Bilaili, has got a dangerous left foot. Drags it back. A shot taken. Powerful as well from Benasser. But it's cannoned off the wall. It looked like Ikong was in the right place to guide that ball safely away. The recovery, Bitsabeni searching for a way here beyond the Nigerian defence that is now aided by the return of Alex Iwobi. And Mbuli calls early, says that ball is going to reach my 18-yard area first, just shepherd Ighalo. And both technical areas are fuming instructions to their players. Gernot Rohr is a couple of metres outside of his technical area, hopping mad with his defence at the moment, while Jamal bin Lamri is trudging the edge of his technical area. As his players approach the 18-yard area of Nigeria, screaming instructions again. It might have proved unkind, but in the end it's proved rather fortuitous, the touch by Iwobi. Daniel Akpe has certainly been put under pressure already in the opening minutes of this semi-final. But he's been growing in confidence as a goalkeeper in recent times, and he's kept 5 clean sheets in his last 8 internationals as Daniel Akpe. bin Nasser. He took the snapshot a short while ago. The positioning from the Nigerian defence looked to be solid enough. Initially punched away from Akbay. Belaili looked to control it and decided the snapshot was required. But Akbay, under not enough pressure, really speaking, could have been able to catch that Mahrez ball, I would imagine. That said, punched it away. Found Belaili. Ben Nasser with a shot that Trostikong was well placed to clear. Back live, Ben Lamri and Igalo coming together, and Ben Lamri again, as I mentioned, willing to do just about anything to stop anybody going beyond him. He's conceded the free kick here. Now, both these sides will be wanting to keep it fairly compact and not concede free kicks. Algeria have not, while they've only conceded one goal in the tournament and it came from open play, they've looked like they could be undone at certain set pieces. Chukwueze chipping it toward the back post, and just a little too strong from the young Villarreal winger come striker. That's good, Yoda. No love lost between players on the pitch at the moment. Gudiora. Nottingham Forest playing in England in the Championship. The likes of Riyad Mahrez as well. They were having what looked to be very friendly discussions with some of the Nigerian players earlier as the two sets arrived around an hour and a half to kick off. Mboli being put under good pressure here from Igalo. Owaziem, Ndidi, current Leicester City man who has been superb in the past two Premier League campaigns. That's William Trostikong, and scored the late winner against South Africa in the quarter-final. Forward, Feguli. Mahrez searching for options. That masterful and cultured left boot of his. It's already seen him score twice at this tournament, including a stunner against Guinea. Belaili is being tugged on here, and it's going to be a free kick. Owaziem committing the error. He certainly doesn't want players going around him. He's been nothing short of dominant in his position when he has played for the Super Eagles at this tournament as Chidozi. Owaziem, now based in Turkey. In the 5 matches that he's played coming into this tie, he's only lost 2 aerial battles. He's not been dribbled past once, and he's got a 100% success rate in tackles. That said, he has conceded a few free kicks in an attempt to prevent his opponents from getting beyond him, which is fine in the greater scheme of things, but you don't want to be conceding too many set pieces in and around the danger area. Belaili, among those who can deliver quality ball, but it's been Nasser who sends it in now. Oh, it's a great header that should have been delivered on target. How did Rami Ben Sebaini miss that? Bunjah left speechless. Oh, that ball coming in with the player being in an offside position. That wouldn't have counted now that we have the VAR in goal. That really should have hit the target. Had Bunjah got his head on the end of that, would have been fine, but Ben Sebaini, who found himself straying into an offside position, would have seen that disallowed on the VAR if it had tucked into the back of the Nigerian net. So goalless it remains, 16 minutes gone in this intense battle between 2 of Africa's largest teams in many ways. Algeria, Africa's biggest team by area, biggest country by area, up against the Nigerian side that is Africa's most populous country. Fan bases are enormous for these teams as well, and there's much expectation from the fan bases in the respective countries. Bilmadi watching on, his side look to defend this set piece from Nigeria, which looks very dangerous, with Owaziem lurking toward the back post and needed a vital touch, and Ben Lamri happy to concede the corner here. Ball coming in over the top, Ben Lamri showing his athleticism. This is looking better for Nigeria. Good pressure from Nigeria, but they failed to get the header in on target. Good runner at the back post, Chidozie Awaziem, as Chukwueze fed in a rather inviting ball that Awaziem is unable to hit goal bound. Nasser, former Arsenal man. Lovely ball through. Oh, Belaili anticipated brilliantly. Great chance to feed it in. A lovely run from Bunjah, but brilliantly anticipated by the Chelsea man who's been on loan for a number of years, Kenneth Omuro. It got past Chidozie Awaziem, and Belaili read it to perfection, looked to slide that ball in behind the defence, and Omuro with some cover defence. Absolutely top-class, top-draw defending from Omuro. He's one of the 3 players who remains from the squad that won the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations under the late, great Stephen Keshi. Just a look at the moment from the opposing angle. Mehdi Zafan going down. Ahmed Musa the culprit on this occasion. Delivery in over the top, and that'll be skipping kindly through for Daniel Akpe. Belaili is back on his feet after going down in the area. Mahrez a moment ago with this ball. A little battle between Awaziem and Belaili. Ball nowhere near the individuals concerned. Referee happy to allow play to continue, no real harm done. So Awaziem and Belaili came together. Should be a handful of genuinely entertaining battles on the field today, mini battles. Awaziem. Chukwueze. Gideora trying to close him down, and Ndidi again lays it onto the path of Iwobi, who's calling the play here. Musa out wide, Igalo central, so is Chukwueze in the end. It's a very tame effort from a man who has twice scored a brace at the FIFA World Cup for Nigeria, including that most memorable brace against Argentina in a 3-2 loss of the 2014 FIFA World Cup, a brace against Iceland in 2018 last year in Russia. After 20 minutes then in this battle of North versus West, it is 0-0 at the Cairo International Stadium. This call is gone against Etebo. Oginekaro Etebo up against Ben Nasser, just bulldozing his opponent slightly. And Etebo is one of the most versatile players I've ever come across. From his rampant goal-scoring days in the early stages of his career to the incredible performances he chipped in for Nigeria, the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where he was part of a squad that picked up bronze medals. He lost out to eventual runners-up Germany. He lost out on penalties to a Neymar-inspired Brazil. There's Chukwueze. Oh, looking to go past Ben Lamri, but Ben Lamri happy to take him on. Belaili now, quick feet from Belaili, quick thinking as well. And this time he's just chipped that in a little too far ahead of the chasing Bunjah, whose quality is not always appreciated, his intense work rate. Because strikers are supposed to score goals, and he's done precious little of that at the tournament, by the penalty he struck against Kenya. I should say struck successfully against Kenya. He missed a penalty against Cote d'Ivoire. We've seen a handful of penalties missed at this tournament already. Senegal, in the final already, have missed 3, including 2 from Sadio Mane. He's among the grand hall of Senegal players who are attempting then, in 5 days' time, at Friday's final, will be attempting to claim their first ever Africa Cup of Nations title. And Only 2 countries have played 50 AFCON matches without a title, Mali and Senegal. Senegal want to change that. Ben Lamri. A little touch here from Feghouli. Gideora can't get it away, but it's not brought under control on the near side. Chukwueze, that ball just allowed to go beyond him. Battling hard in midfield again. The presence and passing game of Wilfred Ndidi generally on point. Nobody made more tackles successfully in the Premier League this past season than Wilfred Ndidi. Ziwobi, the Arsenal man, Gernot does say he needs to score more, but did score the decisive goal in the 3-2 win over Cameroon in the last 16 of this tournament. So halfway through the opening half, no goals as yet between Algeria and Nigeria. It's Spain. Putting it back to William Troost-Ekong, based in Italy, in Serie A at Udinese. The city of Udine is Rohr. Well, he has been very direct about the mindset, saying that nobody's bigger than the team. Since we're here to win the title, since his players understand. Certainly the players have suggested that he's managed to get a team of talented individuals to work as a cohesive unit, as a team on the pitch. And that he's created this environment of discipline in the Nigerian squad. And the Super Eagles looking to fly highest here. Chip over the top, Feghouli won't get on the end of this. Mahrez and Feghouli failed to combine here for the Desert Foxes. Feghouli has scored only his second Africa Cup of Nations goal in the quarter-final tie against Côte d'Ivoire. His only previous goal, also against Côte d'Ivoire. Moussa, special player. His brilliance has always been known. Ziwobi looking to cut through the centre again and battle on once more. Adlin Gideora is proving rather difficult in midfield for Nigeria, and the battle on between Adlin Gideora and Wilfred Ndidi. Then Alex Iwobi looking to get involved, and the call has come in favour of Gideora. Then over the top, and this will be a little bit of pressure for the Nigerian defence. Algeria dominating possession in the early stages, but they haven't really translated those into genuine attacks. Haven't been able to completely dominate. And Nigeria will be looking to keep it that way. They won't mind that they're not dominating the possession stakes. They'll want to dominate on the scoreboard come the end. It does not matter how you win, it matters that you win, ultimately. The stage of the tournament where pretty performances are not always required, but rather gaining the result is far more significant. Chip out wide. Feghouli. Trying to get on the overload. Mehdi Zafan, who's been a little more cautious since made his way into the squad. Yusuf Attal, a very dangerous attacking right back who loves buccaneering down that far flank. On this occasion, though, Mehdi Zafan getting it a little wrong. The French-based right back. And he can play left back or left wing, just touching his planted foot and ultimately seeing his shot skew well wide of target. Like his coach, French-born. Akpe. There's the table. Muro back to Akpe. Put under a little pressure here is Daniel Akpe, who's been in and out of the Nigerian starting lineup in recent years, and certainly had enough of a battle with the likes of Chukwueze and most recently Francis Zou, who started in the World Cup for Nigeria and Russia last year. Benasser, Mandi seeing a little bit of space opening up here. Feghouli has put himself in a pocket, looks for the pass now. A little too strong for Mahrez, who might just reel this in. And reels it in only enough to steer that ball out for the throw-in rather than the corner. Guediora and he will be coming together again. Guediora this time successfully challenging for that ball. Throw-in taken quickly by Nigeria. Collins will have the throw again as Igalo helped maintain possession for Nigeria here. Iwobi, a man that wrote his name into Nigerian history with the goal against Zambia in the World Cup qualifiers last campaign that effectively saw Nigeria's place at the 2018 FIFA World Cup sealed. As Tebo and Feghouli come together, Nigerian free kick. Trostikong. Born in the Netherlands, the country of his mother, Eleanor Troost. It's a little too long for Bunja, who gets on the end of it now. A brilliant one-on-one situation created by Baghdad Bunja. He's unable to beat Daniel Akpe. A fine save. Big right palm out and denies Algeria the opening score just before the half-hour mark. Wonderful bit of creative instinct, denying Ndidi's pass out wide and quickly turning it over, creating a counter-attack out of not very much, and then pressure on Omurua from Baghdad Bunja. Daniel Akpe brilliantly positioned on this occasion, in his maturity in the goalkeeping department ever increasing for a man who, in the earlier days of his goalkeeping time, and certainly not immune to it in the latter stage, was prone to the odd blunder in the goalkeeping department. Every goalkeeper will make a mistake, there's no doubt about it. But fine from Akpe on this occasion. Here's Musa. That's come off the arm. That'll be a free kick. Now, Adlin Guediora needs to be careful because he's one of two Algerian players in that midfield. He and Benasser, who play alongside one another, who sit on yellow cards already in this tie. Chukwueze appealing before it even hit the arm. He anticipated the trajectory of the ball, and he would like to take this, but I can tell you that Ogenekaro Tebo is standing off to the side of the ball that's been placed by Chukwueze. Referee looking to set a three-man wall for Algeria. Will it be Chukwueze? Will it be Tebo to strike this? Difficult man to beat is Boli. Nigeria looking to create danger from the set piece. Chukwueze goes hard, but it's parried down into the ground, almost with an arrogance by Mboli, who says, "You think you can beat me from that sort of range?" Oh, he is a world-class goalkeeper, is Rais Mboli. His definitive performance came in the round of 16 tie against Germany in the 2014 FIFA World Cup, where he made an incredible 11 saves against the eventual champions Germany. 11 saves. The German side that was utterly unsung before he was eventually beaten by Schürrle and Özil. Slimani scored late, a consolation goal. And what memories were created in that 2-1 scoreline after extra time between Germany and Algeria. Meanwhile, just over half an hour's gone here, and goalless it remains. Algeria pushing forward again. Bunja, who could have had a couple already for Algeria, breaks into the 18-yard area. Trostikong is looking to defend against him, and that'll not be a penalty. The referee might just have a quick word here, and because we have VAR available, I think there will be a little check. But the referee's decision, firstly, is that there was no penalty. A very stern referee. Bunja is asking, is there going to be a VAR review, because I believe I was taken down. think he's tripped himself up. Looks to run into Trostikong. Trying to get his body between Trostikong and the ball, looking to shepherd the ball. I think the referee's made the correct call there. Spot on is the 40-year-old Gambian referee. He's not refereeing these two nations for the first time. He refereed Nigeria's 3-1 win over Algeria in the World Cup qualifiers, which Nigeria advanced at the expense of Algeria, amongst others. That's a moment ago. Baghdad Bounedjah runs onto this. It's Kenneth Omorua. Looked to clear. It was just the speed of Bounedjah rather than anything else. But brilliantly closing the angle on Bounedjah. It allowed Daniel Akpe to make that save. But Omorua was looking to get it spot on. And it was the pace of Bounedjah that was so incisive that managed to win that ball for the Algerian. Ben Lamri, meanwhile, looks to be swinging arms at Igalo. He's trying to just keep it below neck level. And eventually the call will come in favour of Algeria. So free kick to Algeria. Nodien Igalo, with his palms raised skyward, is appealing for a simple explanation, feeling that he had done nothing wrong other than try to avoid the flailing arms of his defending opponent. Algeria are a win away from advancing to their first Africa Cup of Nations final in 29 years. Up against a side that is certainly, if not desperate, rather urgent to go all the way in this tournament after failing to qualify for successive Africa Cup of Nations tournaments since winning the 2013 title. While Nigeria did lose to Madagascar in the group stages, they have wins in all 4 of the other matches that they've played. Based on performances so far, it will be a massive effort to beat Algeria. But if Nigeria come together, click and hit top gear, there's nobody that can stop them. Certainly for the teams in the last 4, it's fair to say for all of them. It's about who pitches up on the day, who puts in the performance as required. Sefan out wide to Mahrez. Here's Sefan again. Can't spread this ball beyond Musa. Throw-in it'll be. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Ben Lamri. In the Algerian goal. Figoli over the top, a real chance here for Bounedjah again between 2 defenders, and that's just brilliant from Jamilu Collins. The recovery from the Nigerian defence, superb. Looked to be another one-on-one situation created as Figoli managed to get that ball beyond an advancing Omorua with a lift over the top of the Chelsea man, and then into the path of Bounedjah. Trostikong looking to close down the angle, Akpe rushing out, and then Jamilu Collins cutting out any chance for Bounedjah to score with an all-important touch. Now from the corner, Mahrez will feed, Akpe indecision. It does not cost Nigeria on this occasion. Diora recovering for Algeria, looking to pick out Mahrez, nodded away by Iwobi, whose defensive work is not to be taken for granted in this tie. His work rate and work ethic has been thoroughly impressive here against the passing. He's onside, there's no concern for Igalo, but it's just a little trip up momentum-wise, but he's broken into the danger area. Iwobi back to Igalo, they're searching for the man in space. Musa. A flying attempt from Ndidi, who tries a powerful drive, ricochets off the Algerian directly in front of him, and now the chase is on for Belaili, and it'll be recovered by The Nigerians with the ball out of play on the near side. This the chance a moment ago. Odi Nigalo and Adam Geniora coming together. Oh, when the ball spills free like that, there's no call for a handball. Not from that sort of ricochet. There's Geniora back in position. 8 minutes to go to half-time. And while there's no doubt that we always want to see goals in matches, it's not short on entertainment this semi-final time. Super Eagles, whose only loss came in the group stage against Madagascar, the surprise team of this tournament undoubtedly, but have looked increasingly stronger since. And that wonderful come-from-behind victory over the defending champions Cameroon, and then a fine 2-1 victory, almost last gasp against South Africa, who had eliminated the tournament hosts Egypt. Lovely ball in here from Iwobi, sets up a chance, is pulled wide of targets. Odi Nigalo with a chance to score his 4th of the tournament. And look at this, the way that it's won back. It's Itebo with the ball-winning ability in the middle of the park in the first place. And at the moment, that combination of Ndidi and Itebo is managing to keep John Mikel Obi out of the starting lineup for Nigeria. Two coaches, both of whom had successful careers in France in their playing days. Oh, the legend, though, in France at Bordeaux. It is Bastille Day in France, some celebration. One of the great celebrations of the world, in a country that is also seeing one of the great sporting events of the world in Tour de France currently underway. No doubt some of these players have been keeping an eye on what's been happening in sport around the world, but they're focused now very much on the 90 minutes in front of them, potentially 120, maybe even penalties to come. Delivery out wide. This is better from Mahrez, looking to take on Jamilu Collins. Mahrez with his weaker right, deflected in, and that's an unfortunate own goal from William Troost-Ekong, who proved to be the hero with the winner against South Africa in the quarter-final, has turned it into his own net. He is experiencing the highs and lows. Just days apart is William Troost-Ekong, scoring that late winner against South Africa in the quarter-finals. He's unwittingly tucked the ball into his own net here after Mahrez had done the damage down the right. A brilliant run. Got the ball onto his weaker right foot as he looked to cut that ball back in towards one of the two Algerian players waiting. It clipped the shin of Jamilu Collins and into the path of Troost-Ekong. And there's not a great deal that Troost-Ekong could have done about that. The deflection would have undone him. Had to try to manage his weight and wasn't able to shift his body across. Catches him just above the hip into the back of the net, and he looks forlorn. A man who genuinely is among the more charitable in the world of sport. Donates a percentage of his salary to One Mata's Common Goal charity. So much for so many. Utterly thankful for his opportunity as a footballer. And somehow he's now gone and experienced one of the lows of football. Scoring an own goal. Not just in any situation, scoring that own goal in this situation against very dangerous opponents who have only conceded once in the tournament. That'll be a concern for his side. So Nigeria need to regroup. They're chasing the game. They're a goal down. The other semi-final was decided by a Dylan Bron own goal in extra time. President Ahmed among those in attendance. Nigeria. Collins across to Trostikong, and needs to get his head back into the game if it's not there already. His commitment to Nigeria is undoubted. This one being born in Haarlem in the Netherlands to a Nigerian father, and his father, I think, is from Akwa Ibom State, if I recall. His mother, Eleanor, but grew up in England, educated in England. Initial football in England as well. It's Baini through here. Bunja laying it into the path of Belaili. Leaves it behind under good pressure from Didi, who's seen that ball turned over by Chukwueze. Alex Iwobi now a chance to run at the Algerian defence. Musa and Igalo wait for delivery. Chukwueze looks to put himself in a little pocket as well. Closed down by the Algerian defenders, who are rocking back in numbers. And that'll be out for the throw-in on the far side to Nigeria. The opportunity of a long throw-in opposite the 18-yard area. Presenting itself here. Chukwueze. Waiting for delivery in. It might fall kindly here. Chukwueze can't get a touch on that to finish. It ricochets kindly for Mboli, and he will not be denied. Odi Nigalo. Again, the man who's looking to get on the end of a loose ball that he can try to fashion home. And this time looks to block the attempted clearance of Rami Bensebaini, and ricochets kindly for Rais Mboli in the Algerian goal. To the near side, Chukwueze. Bensebaini with a big challenge, and referee Gassama right on the spot, happy to call. And that was a free kick in favour of Nigeria. Spot on again from the referee, who's already refereed 7 CAF club competition finals, and who has been a FIFA referee for a dozen years. Nigeria, closing moments of the opening half, trailing by a goal, looking to fashion an equaliser. The side that was trailing against Cameroon managed to come back and win that tie. They've looked increasingly better in this tournament. 1 minute of time added on, says the South African fourth official, Victor Gomes. As we hit the 45-minute mark, Nigeria are leading, courtesy of that Trostikong own goal. On the top here, a little too strong for Chukwueze to realistically run onto, and that ball will skip kindly away, and Mboli will take a little time, I'd suggest, to getting this ball back into play. William Trostikong. It's his son Oscar's first birthday coming up in just 10 days' time. And I know he would have been wanting to celebrate with his family upon his return to Italy. The fact that he would be an African Cup of Nations winner, it might not be the case unless his side can come back. Half-time, says referee Gassama. It is 1-0 to Algeria at the break. An unfortunate own goal from the
Algeria are 45 minutes away from appearing in the African.
That's why Nigeria, if you recall, was down 2-1 against defending champions Cameroon. Came back, a team that they had scored against first. So what Nigeria needs to do is do a better job in the midfield. Dominate the midfield. That's Ndidi on the table. Need to do a better job in what they're doing. But more importantly, utilize your flanks, your speed. That what got you here. Right. You need to utilize that. In the case of Algeria, change nothing. You're leading right now, but Baghdad Bounedjah needs to put on his scoring boots, or else he's going to be shedding tears like he did against Ivory Coast if Nigeria advances in this game.
Yeah, he was, of course, cranked that penalty kick off the crossbar and had to wait nervously through penalties before they advanced that final penalty, sending them through off the post from the captain of Ivory Coast. That sent Algeria here to the semi-final. Odion Igalo, quiet in the first half. That's surprising to you?
Not at all, because the two center-backs for Algeria have done a good job in limiting his. Every time he touches the ball, there's a defender right there. If he turns and gets past him, there's another one waiting for him. This is where the flank comes in, because as a good hold-up player, if he lays the ball to a Chukwueze to his left or an Ahmed Musa to his right, that opportunity is there. But those players they're trailing, they're lagging on the play. Alex Iwobi as well is not helping because he's holding onto the ball too long. Less touches probably gets Odion Ighalo in better position. But he had a shot on goal. Well, he had a shot, but it was off target. So I expect a lot more from him in the second half.
All right, let's send you down to second half at Cairo International Stadium. Here's your commentator, Dwayne Daloka.
Second half gets underway then with Algeria leading Nigeria by a goal to nil. Algeria turning out in the white with green trim against the Nigerian side in the darker green. They're looking to overturn a one-goal deficit at half-time. Kenneth Omurua, the Chelsea man, only 25 years old. He's been with the club since 2012, would you believe, and he's not played a moment for them. He's been loaned out 6 times since joining Chelsea 7 years ago. He was on loan in Spain at Leganes this past campaign. It's Trostikong, and he scored that unfortunate own goal. And the man who's almost made that central defensive position his own in recent times. Ben Lamoury making a call. Jamilu Collins is just loving every moment he has as part of the Super Eagles squad. He's loving the opportunity to be involved. Ismail bin Nasser, meanwhile, is spoken to by the match officials. He just take the band around his socks off. As Nigeria come probing forward, Iwobi looking for Ighalo, who's being held. Like he was having a little tug back. Ighalo likes to bustle his way through opposing defences. Well, tape is coming off for Ben Nasser. We'll need to get certain, but tape back on. Jamel Bemadi fuming on the near side. Instructions to players and Captain Mahrez as well. Ben Nasser being waved back on now by referee Bakari Papagasama. Better here from Trostikong. Clear jersey tugging though from Baghdad Bunja, and call goes in favour of Nigeria, who have a moment's respite. Far side, Chidozie Owaziem. Maybe benefited from the injury to Abdoulaye Shea in the early stages of this tournament, but he's taken his opportunities brilliantly. As Chidozie Owaziem. Far side, yes, Bitzbani again. So both sides looking to knock the ball around in the opening stages of the second half. Bilaili happy not to just hoof that ball clear as Ben Nasser stays on his feet. Under real pressure here, and maybe a genuine chance to run at the defence. Mahrez was looking to go central, and Bilaili and Bunja are nearly coming together. But Itebo winning ball back brilliantly. Trostikong will take for Nigeria. A man who plays a very focused brand of football. He's going to need to be focused here. This is a little kind for the Nigerian goalkeeper, Daniel Akpe. As Baghdad Bunja again puts himself in the right place to try to find an opening strike for him in this game. The own goal from Trostikong that separates these sides as the tall defender now looks to go straight down the centre into the path of Musa, just a little too far ahead of him. Fall kindly here from the ball back from the Algerian defence for Fighouli, found Ben Nasser, and now Bilaili looking to switch angles towards Riyad Mahrez, and this is very similar to the goal they scored against Guinea, where Bilaili saw a little bit of space for Mahrez, laid it into his path. This time though, closed down by Jamilu Collins. Spent 5 years in the books of the Croatian club Rijeka. Baghdad Bunja coming up for the aerial duel against Trostikong, and it's not often that you're going to see anybody come off better than Trostikong. Then Lamoury back to Mboli. So the Super Eagles trailing by 1, looking to find their way back into this tie and overturn the deficit in a battle between two of Africa's giant teams, three-time champions Nigeria and Algeria, 1990 winners against Nigeria in the final. Ball comes out here again, and Murua lets it go. Jamilu Collins had the unfortunate skip bounce in front of him. Mahrez does well to keep it in play, but Collins fantastically to win back possession here for Nigeria. Although the subsequent clearance is straight back into the path of Algeria, who look to control possession. Zbaini, Ben Lamri plays in Saudi Arabia now, does Ben Lamri. Played around at some of the top Algerian clubs before eventually making his way to Saudi Arabia in 2016. The man who's stepped into the fray is Rafik Alish, getting a little older now, and the retirements of players like Antar Yahya. There's a Tebo. This time it's a rare opportunity for Gideora to get onto a ball that Tebo is allowed to escape him. Feghouli searching for options, looked to go the Mahrez way. Up against Collins again. This is how the goal came. Mahrez, lovely back heel. Feghouli brilliantly onto it, but genuine pressure from a recovering Jamilu Collins, who looked to be helped out by Kenneth Omuro. And again, it's Alex Iwobi who's sitting deep and brilliantly helping his defence. Box-to-box stuff from Alex Iwobi, who looks to go on the attack now and gets away from his man, and that might be the opening caution of this tie. Straight away, absolutely no doubt in referee's mind, Baghdad Bounedjah is asking for VAR. It's there are only 4 reasons you get to go to a VAR. And for a yellow card offence, it is not one of them. For a red card offence, you can. Ooh. And he might have had a point. He picks up a yellow card, and Iwobi has not been touched. So Bounedjah, who will not miss out on the final suspended if he is able to advance with his Algerian side. It's been undone there. Now Etebo from the set piece looks to take it short, but that ploy has not worked, as Mehdi Safan has stepped up and cleared to the near side. That'll be out of play on the near side. Throw it to Algeria. Jamal Belmadi want his side to control the situation now. They lead on the scoreboard. The hard part is only just beginning. Nigeria, you imagine, are going to be throwing as much as they can at Algeria in this second half. And all the Algerian fans and the Nigerian fans singing songs. The Algerian fans every so often break into a chant. 1, 2, 3, Vive Algérie. It's one of the favourites. I've sat in enough stadia with Nigerian fans who like to sing Sama Sinwalo. I apologise for my singing. 8 minutes down in the second half. Algeria maintain a 1-goal advantage. And them enjoying some of the battles off the pitch as well, as the fans look to outnoise one another, encourage their players to rise a little higher. Awaziem. Chukwueze looks to go beyond Vincevani, instead cuts inside him, and again the control. Didi and Etebo have been magnificent in midfield for Nigeria so far. Here's Musa though, and he's past that between 2 players. Chukwueze was running in toward the back post, and Igalo in a central position. Iwobi had broken into an advanced position almost directly in front of Musa, and he was unable to pick out any one of the 3 advancing teammates. Collins back inside to Etebo. I watched him at the Rio Olympic Games when he became the first man in nearly 50 years to score 4 goals in a single Olympic men's football tournament match. He scored 4 against Japan in a match that Nigeria nearly lost. It was 5-4 the final score, but they were leading 5-2 at one stage, and Japan came back particularly strongly. And Tebo was superb, scoring with both feet on the day, left and right. Here he is, Olympic bronze medalist from the Rio Games. And 5 are in the squad. Only 3 Africa Cup of Nations winners, including this man, Ahmed Musa. He, Kenneth Omuru, and John Mikel Obi, the 3 who remain from the side that won the title 6 years ago. Musa looking on as Gadiora is down. 2 came together. I think damage might have been done. A collision. Ben Larmi is a hard man. So 10 minutes gone in the second half. Algeria maintaining that 1-goal advantage they took into the break. Algeria have not been the dominant side in recent meetings between these countries. Nigeria have won 7 of their last 9 meetings. And there has been some contentious moments between these countries in recent times, especially in the World Cup qualifiers of 2018, where Nigeria ended up securing a 1-1 draw in Constantine in World Cup qualifiers, and subsequently saw that scrapped as FIFA punished Nigeria for fielding an ineligible player. John Ogu actually scored, it was his first goal in the match before Yassin Brahimi, I think it was, from the penalty mark, cancelled it out. 1-1 it ended, but in the end Abdoulaye Shea had picked up 2 yellow cards in matches prior, should have sat out suspended but played. Nigeria ended up being fined and having to forfeit the match. It didn't end up doing anything other than change the number of points they picked up in the group. They still went to the World Cup in Russia last year. They were handed a rather unkind draw again against Argentina, that this man loves scoring against. Ahmed Musa. Yes, Belaili. Back to Ben Sebaini. Belaili remains down as Tebo has possession here and looks to feed to Tros de Kong, who allows that ball to be played out on the far side. It's Gadiora, rather, who's down. Ooh, on the inside of the foot, just on the inside of the bridge of his foot. Certainly nothing intentional from Ahmed Musa, but that will be particularly painful for Adlin Gadiora. Now 33 in the twilight of his career and looking to make a little history. The Nottingham Forest man who's playing in the Championship in England. Martin O'Neill was the coach of his side when he left. Sabri Lamouchi is the coach when he returns. Missing the start of pre-season with the club. Handful of players who are warming up. Well, I do hope you get an opportunity to see Victor Osimhen play. Quality finisher who's proved himself in the youth ranks and who's looking to slowly settle into the senior game. Of the players on the Algerian bench warming up. Not some who might be immediately into the fray, you would imagine. Players that you might expect to make their way on in the second half for this Algerian side, not the likes of Hisham Boudaoui, who's a quality midfielder in his own right, or Mehdi Abed. There are midfielders who can just hold things up. Meanwhile, Iwobi looks to push forward, tries a shot from a long way out, and that would have been something astonishing required from that sort of range to beat a goalkeeper of Mboli's quality from here. And Alex Iwobi is not shy, and certainly not short on zeal. He looks to fire in an equalising goal from range. Oh, watches on. Rise Mboli. Bounced around a little as Mboli over the years. He's been thoroughly consistent for Algeria over the years, but he's found himself over the last 9 years playing regularly for Algeria, but in 15 professional seasons he's played at 13 different clubs. It's Collins. Itebo. You can literally play him anywhere, Itebo. He is so dynamic. He's got pace, he's got driving runs, he can get the passing game going as Iwobi slips it out wide. Chukwueze looking to have a run in. Igalo waits centrally up against Mandi and looking for a call in his favour here. Chukwueze, and he's gone and won the corner. The 20-year-old is continuing to impress here at the Africa Cup of Nations and looking to inspire an equalising goal for Nigeria as the hour mark approaches here at the Cairo International Stadium. An air of expectation as Nigeria dream of a fourth title. To maintain that dream, keep it alive. Mboli being potentially inspired by Bin Labri to encourage his teammate to pull off a save. Deny the Super Eagles, who search for that equaliser from the corner on the hour mark. Delivery in and easy enough for Mboli. Comes out confidently and claims. Number 2 having a standoff, referee and goalkeeper. I was feeling that there was never a corner in Chukwueze's run. Either way, it's a last 4 meeting between the Desert Foxes of Algeria, the highest goal scorers in the competition with 11 goals now. They've only conceded once, the lowest number of goals conceded. On Nigeria, they've been able to score goals. They know how to win games. While the Madagascar loss have looked like an increasingly good side at the right time, and they know how to win tournaments. Baini showing his attempted skill. Still Ziawaziem, still not dribbled past. Well, that'll be a free kick indeed. The culprit on this occasion, the indirect free kick, studs up here. Bin Nasser looking to control that, and as Ndidi put the boot up, the referee right on the spot calls the indirect free kick. Basically signed by Leicester City to replace N'Golo Kante, who was heading off to Chelsea. The ridiculously athletic Wilfred Ndidi has just grown so tremendously, and he's putting in another massive shift for Nigeria in midfield as Bilaili and Ben Nasser discuss tactics for this set piece. Fed in here, and it's easily away by Chidozie Awaziem. Only as far as Mahrez, who looks to break into a danger area. Fegoli with the attempted chip, looking to deftly place it on the head of any of his teammates, and that ball is escaped without an Algerian touching it. Beyond Fegoli's attempts, Mahrez keeping it alive, and then Fegoli. I don't think he was trying to place that, was he? Well, he might have been trying to chip it, maybe from that angle. Let's just try to bend that ball in, hit it with the outside of the boot and curl it in towards Mboli's goal. It takes some effort to score from that sort of range, from that sort of angle, with that sort of strike. So Nigeria up against an Algerian side that are not simply going to defend. Chatting to a few Nigerian fans ahead of this tie, who felt that their side might very well have a little bit of an advantage in the sense that they've had an additional day to recover. Only played 90 minutes in a later evening game against South Africa in the quarterfinals. Cote d'Ivoire took Algeria to extra time and penalties 3 days ago rather than 4 that Nigeria last played. And they played at 6 o'clock kickoff, 38 degrees Celsius at kickoff at 6 p.m. local time at Suez, where the humidity is also punishingly high. They were hoping that would give Nigeria some sort of favour in this time, but so far we've seen no signs of any fatigue from any of the Algerian players, who start unchanged, bar for the injured Yusuf Attal, who broke his collarbone in that quarter-final tie. And I remind you, the winner of this tie goes on to face Senegal in the final. They're only into their second final, are Senegal. And the man who captained them to the final played in 2002. Aliou Cissé has now coached them to only their second final, and looking to go one better now as the man in charge rather than as a player. Musa skips that out for the throw-in. For Nigeria, beginning to get to that stage of the match where they will recognise that time is running out. There is still plenty of time, but the longer they go without scoring, the greater the urgency required. Nigeria will just be looking to absorb as much as they can. This is knockout football. Despite the injury, there's Yusuf Attal wearing the arm in a sling, his right arm. He broke his collarbone in a fall. He landed awkwardly on his elbow. Also with a long throw that comfortably cleared by the Algerian defence, Trostikong. Sunday Olise once said he was a little too soft, Trostikong. There is something about his game that is very controlled. So 20 minutes down in the second half, and Algeria maintaining their one-goal advantage as Musa. Another chance to potentially find Igalo with a long throw. And then Musa almost effortlessly finding it. Cleared again by the defence, Bunja and Nasser making a little bit of a run as well. Everybody looking for space here. Belaili looking to run onto the end of this one. Gideora sitting in the pocket. Feghouli is back as well. Belaili is looking to pick out a teammate. Any one of three players running onto it. Nigeria escape with possession here. Chukwueze. Iwobi's waiting out wide. Igalo's gone more central and dropped a little deeper now. Picks it up. Looks to feed Iwobi. Cuts back inside of two. He's got Musa as an option to look to go at. And Mehdi Zefan comes across and steers that ball away. It's Chukwueze again. Iwobi. Okenekaro Atebo. It's that 18-yard area now, and Nigeria escape with possession again. Igalo runs out of the 18-yard area, but Nigeria still maintaining their pressure and possession here. The Super Eagles searching for an equaliser. Ball is skipped to the opposite side. Awaziem, 22-year-old who's spent last season on loan at Porto at the Turkish league at Trabzonspor. Appeals here, and muted appeals from the Nigerians for a handball in the area, all bar Igalo, who is still pleading with the referee. Meanwhile, Feghouli having a bit of a battle, and Zakele Sewela on the near side. The South African assistant referee says that is a free kick to Nigeria. This is the call a moment ago, and that's come off the arm. Now we will go to a VAR. Feghouli, meanwhile, has big caution. I imagine we're going to go to VAR decision. Feghouli, meanwhile, has been cautioned for this challenge that was called by the assistant referee immediately with his arm up, saying Feghouli has fouled the table. But this was a short while ago. Issa Mandi now standing in the area. Igalo was vehement in his appeal for a penalty. So the referee has gone for the VAR. He has the option of checking with the VAR camp, and I suspect this is going to be a penalty to Nigeria here if he's in the area. Issa Mandi. Igalo was absolutely adamant. Musa as well. Mandi knows it struck him on the arm. It's his 50th appearance today. It's meant to be a happy day, and it might turn out to be an unhappy one. He's in the area. It's come off the arm. He knows it as well. The arm is out. He's made the body wider. That ball might have been going wide. But a ball off the arm like that is a free kick, and a free kick inside the penalty area is... There's a penalty. Just waiting for the communication here. Paul van Boekel of the Netherlands is in, and here is the decision. Oh, the referee says, I'm going to go and have a look at this myself. So Bakari Papakasama, the only African referee who went to the 2017 FIFA Confederation Cup, a man who is widely regarded as the top referee on the continent, certainly consistently one of the top referees in Africa, refereeing this titanic semi-final tie, is going to make a decision courtesy of the visuals here. Now, his view initially might have been obscured slightly by the players running across it, and that has come off the arm. It's inside the area. So the referee is having a little discussion. I think we might even see a caution coming for Monday. So the referee will make a decision. It struck the arm of Mandi, and we are going to a penalty, and this is the correct decision. The Algerian fans react angrily, but this is the correct decision, and Mandi is being cautioned as well. It's turning out to be a very unhappy milestone 50th appearance for Mandi. Brilliantly struck by Etebo, looking to take on the Algerian defence, and you might call unfortunate the handball, but this is an opportunity for Odion Igalo to become the tournament's leading goal scorer, but more importantly for Nigeria to level matters inside the final 20 minutes of the regulation 90. Well, Igalo adamant with the appeal for a handball. It was he who ducked, struck the arm of Mandi, and there's no doubt about it. VAR has made the correct decision here. It is a penalty to Nigeria, and Odion Igalo, who scored 7 goals in qualifying, top scorer across all the teams for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, is staring down a man who's only been beaten once in over 500 minutes of football at the Africa Cup of Nations this tournament. Mboli up against Igalo. Scored against Burundi, he scored a brace against Cameroon, and he levels for Nigeria here with 18 minutes to go. Odion Igalo is the tournament's leading goal scorer with 4, and Nigeria are back on level terms. An enormous cheer from the Super Eagles fans who made their way to the venue as they believe once again it is on, it is on. Issa Mandi still protesting. The man who is outstanding bar his performance against Germany in the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup in 2014. Mboli beaten for only the 2nd time this tournament. It's come from the penalty mark. Odion Igalo makes no mistake. Now based in China, the former Watford striker. And Mboli, not much you can do about that. Well, both will feel there's an element of misfortune here. Mandi feels aggrieved, but it was clearly a handball. So a VAR decision has confirmed a penalty to Nigeria after the unfortunate own goal from William Troost-Ekong, and so far we've seen an own goal and a penalty in this tie on a day that has seen the other semi-final between Senegal and Senegal and Tunisia decided by an own goal after both teams had missed a penalty in regulation time. It was decided after 120 minutes. Senegal awaits the winner of this tie in the final on Friday, while in Wednesday's 3rd place playoff, the loser will face Tunisia. Will it be a North versus West battle again? Or will it be an all-West battle in the final? These are the only 2 outcomes. No North-North as Tunisia have crashed out. Aliou Cisse's Teranga Lions, the only semi-finalists not to have previously won this tournament, into the final. Odion Igalo, a man with the golden boot, his 15th international goal and only his 34th appearance. Bin Larmi, meanwhile, is fuming over this moment. Just making sure he got in the way of Ndidi, who didn't know too much about that other than trying to track the ball. Oh, the Nigerian fans. They are singing loudly now. If I'm not mistaken, that ditty that I sung a moment ago, that Nigerian fans are often wont to sing that chant, Sama Sinwalo, means something along the lines of lead us into battle. And right now, battled their way back. There was an element of fortune in the duck by Igalo. And having VAR available, the referee having made the correct decision. And now Nigeria back on level terms. They claimed 2 important wins over North African opponents. Did Nigeria, bear in mind, in the qualifiers, beat Libya by 4-0 at home and 3-2 away. Igalo scored a hat-trick against Libya in that 4-0 win. No stranger to scoring against North African sides, Odion Igalo. But not having qualified for the past 2 editions of the Africa Cup of Nations, there is a feeling that it is imperative that they go on to win here. There must be some success. It's almost a demand from the rather emphatic and demanding Super Eagles fans. It will be better from Nigeria on the overlap. Algeria needing to defend here, and that's rather well done from Belaili to deny Chidozie Awaziem to run onto that. Scored against the Seychelles in qualifying, did Chidozie Awaziem. Chukwueze. That through ball. And every time I think of Chukwueze, I think of that most entertaining match in La Liga this past campaign, as we hit inside 15 minutes to go. 1-1 it is. Potential of extra time and penalties here. But just having watched Chukwueze throughout the La Liga season, in which he also gained some Europa League experience, he had a goal and an assist in what was just a superb advert for the La Liga in April. Villarreal drew 4 with Barcelona. So, substitution here for Nigeria. Chukwuemeka Henry is making his way on. And Chukwueze makes his way off. And I was just praising. It's rather late to see a first substitution. Henry Onyekuru is made his way on now and will look to impress once again. The English-based player. He's been out on loan since joining Everton. Free kick Algeria, Benasser. Down he goes, he will be protests, but then waves it away. Big bump off the ball. Both who've worn the colours of Arsenal in England. This was a moment ago, Guardiola with that run through. And looking to lay the ball off. Firuli searching for options, then set it up. Picked up Benasser, who was subsequently overrun. Chukwueze, meanwhile, makes his way all around the pitch to where his teammates sit on the bench as Algeria prepared to take from the set piece. With just over 10 minutes to play in this tie. We're locked at 1 apiece in this intense semi-final battle. Low and flat, it's crisp and inviting, but it's cleared here by Igalo. All Nigerian players back to help defend the set piece. Soufiane Feghouli, touch on that, a little too strong, and Akpay will bring it under control. Daniel Akpay. He's taken his chance in the battles against the likes of Uzo and Ezenwa. Also bear in mind, after the retirement of the great Vincent Onyema, Carl Ekeme, of course, was man who took over the #1 coaching, the goalkeeping department, spent his entire career on the books of Wolverhampton Wanderers, did Carly Kemmett. Then was diagnosed with leukemia less than 2 years ago. And 2 weeks ago, I'm delighted to tell you, he actually attended Wolves training. His career is over, he's had to retire, but it's been a horrendous time for Carly Kemmett. A personal experience, it's really going to go through some grueling treatments. It's cost him his dream of playing in the World Cup. It's cost him his dream of playing football for a lengthy period. It's cost him being present at his second daughter's birth. We're glad to see that he's managed to get leukemia into remission, and his thoughts are certainly with him and his family. Here's Iwobi, that's trying from range, but again, Mboli not going to be beaten from that sort of range. 10 minutes to go. Iwobi looking to up the intensity here with his second long-range effort at Mboli. Ball out wide, and Spain, he brings it under control. Down goes Ben Nasser. So free kick to Algeria. 9 minutes of football remain, plus some added time. Opportunity for one of these to find a winner. The Algerian fans have suddenly found their voice again. And they are chanting wildly. Mahrez over it. Looks to strike it cleanly. It's a lovely delivery as well. It's only inches ahead of Baghdad Bunja. It looked like an inviting ball, and no player was able to run onto. And Bunja, the signal to Mahrez, that is where he wanted it, a little inside. 1-1 as it stands. Well, Yusuf Attal with a broken collarbone, ruled out of the remainder of the tournament, is staying with the team. And I wonder if Jamel Belmadi might be considering going the way of the dangerous Sandy Delors or Adam Mounas in the moments remaining. Big challenge over the top here from Mehdi Sefan. It's gone in over the top of Ahmed Musa. The Nigerian captain on the day, clutching onto his head here. Taking an elbow. The body of Sefan immediately behind him. Sefan got to the ball, fair enough, but you do need to take into consideration of the opponent as well. So both sides creating chances. Who will create the chance that snatches this? Is there a moment it'll prove decisive in 90 minutes, or will we see extra time? Mboli with that comfortable catch, the former Marseille youth player, also played for France youth international level before opting to represent Algeria ahead of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. To the near side. At the moment, Nyakura is looking to get anywhere near the ball, just get involved in what is his first appearance in the Africa Cup of Nations. This tournament, incidentally, is the first appearance at an Africa Cup of Nations for 20 of the 23 players. of Nigeria's youthful squad that has been part of a rebuilding phase since they won the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations title. Ben Nasser. It's better from Algeria, searching to go back in front by a goal, and Belaili going down. Referee says goal kick. Belaili breaking into that 18-yard area, looking to run onto this around the outside of Chidozie Awaziem. Chipped that ball back inside and it's out of play effectively by the time any contact happened. 5 minutes to play, plus some added time. That's all we have remaining in the 90 minutes. Will we go to extra time? Will we see penalties? Can somebody find a decisive moment here between Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria, and the continent's largest country by area, Algeria? Igalo against Guediora. Arms around Guediora, and referee quick to spot that, happy to make the call in favour of Algeria. Belmadi looks a host of emotions, none of them good. Looks forlorn, dismayed at the moment. The side was leading by a goal and suddenly find themselves back on level terms with a Nigerian side who are proving problematic to break down defensively. Both these sides have the players who can produce those moments of magic that can turn any tie on its head. Both coaches will know that, both sets of players will know that, and some surely will believe that they can produce the magic. Feghouli, though, is uprooted. Play on, says the referee, as possession is overturned. Fegouli's club teammate this past season, Onyekuru, was on loan from Everton at Galatasaray as they won the league and cup double in Turkey. Looking to get things going here after his club teammate Feghouli was stopped by Omurua, who took nothing but the ball. Kenneth Omurua. His 50th appearance for Nigeria today. Milestone moment for him. He too was out on loan this past season. He was out on loan at Leganes. There's a Tebo. Didi. Musa. In towards Onyekuru. Looks to get the shot in here. It's gone high. And flicked that over. Looking to get immediately involved and trying to produce the moment that'll change matters on the pitch. Musa a little far away from him. It's caught the calf of his opponent. He was feeling that was up for a corner kick, and he was quite right with that call. A bit of a protest from Nigeria about that call. Instead, Algeria looking to hit back Sefan into a danger area. And fairly comfortably dealt with by Omurua. That's Awaziem. Now, he's the man who's picked up the yellow card. Now, this is a problem for Awaziem because if Nigeria do make it through to the final, he is out, suspended. So he and teammate as Feghouli looks to create something here. Feghouli is fired over. Somehow created space for himself when he had a defender on his back. Unleashes the snapshot from just inside the area. Brilliant from Feghouli. Somehow Jamilu Collins unable to close him down, and a wonderful opportunity for Feghouli to find the goal that would take Algeria 2 goals in front, and he's gone and spurned the opportunity. Daniel Akbe in the ball downfield. Aiming to advance to their 8th Africa Cup of Nations final are Nigeria. Only Egypt and Ghana have won. Have played in more finals. Some downfield, Muru. Awaziem. Genuinely showed maturity beyond his years as Awaziem with his performances. So only one substitution made so far. Super Eagles fans, some have just spotted themselves on the television as we go to the big screen. You can see just over the head of the fourth official. One of 3 massive screens here at the Cairo International Stadium. 4 minutes of time added on as we break now into the period that might prove the difference between winning and losing, or we go to extra time. Sabani. Sending it down towards Nigalo, now 30 years old, the China-based striker, who's an honorary citizen of Calgary in Canada, would you believe, after holidaying there a couple of years ago. Zefan. Gudiora. It's Mundi. Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez. Premier League title at Leicester City and Manchester City, helping them to the treble this past campaign. Lovely here from Algeria, and it's missed everybody. Zefan recovers. Mahrez again. Options for Algeria. On the near side, now Zefan. 3 players to pick out in the area, but he's opted to go back towards Figuli, who calls him back into position. Zefan again. Ben Nasser. Ben Nasser looks to go around the outside. He's never scored a goal. An international match, and he comes agonizingly close here as it clatters off the crossbar and over. Ismail Ben Nasser nearly scores in added time to take Algeria through. Taking the responsibility on his own shoulders, beats Akbay. But not low enough to beat the woodwork. Ben Lamri can't believe how close that was. And Ismail Ben Nasser, the man who's been called the future of the Algerian midfield, the energetic, industrious midfielder, nearly scores his first international goal. Back inside from Bounedjah. Figuli. Now Mahrez goes all the way back to Ben Lamri in defence. Looks to charge this ball into Nigerian territory. It's a well picked out ball in towards Belaili. Now Ben Nasser. Mahrez showing his class and brilliance. Mahrez! Oh, unbelievable from Awaziem once again to deny Mahrez, who looked to be in for a shot on goal. It's a free kick here to Algeria on the edge of the penalty area in the last minutes of added time. Fantastic run from Mahrez, but look at the positioning from Chidozie Awaziem. The anticipation, the timing to pluck that ball out, and as Ben Nasser goes over, it's a free kick to Algeria. Seconds remaining in added time. Now that ball recovered by Awaziem to deny Mahrez from potentially taking the shot in a one-on-one. Superb. And this an opportunity for one of these players to write their own names in history. If Algeria can claim the goal here. Jamel Ben Madi. man who masterminded the defeat of Senegal in the group stages. If his side wins, they go on to meet Senegal in the final. Bilaili and Mahrez, the two players who stand over this. The mind-blowing Mahrez has done it! Algeria are through! It will be a repeat of the group stage match with arguably the final kick of the game. The miraculous moment that has captured it for Algeria has come. Nigeria surely fell here. Simply marvellous. Nigeria cannot believe it. It has been a match that has seen momentum shift between these sides. There is still some time remaining, but surely that is the decisive moment in added time. Riyad Mahrez, who's never scored more than 2 goals in a calendar year for Algeria, has got 3 goals in this tournament and is leading Algeria to the title. Absolutely perfectly placed. A peerless strike. Riyad Mahrez showing his class, and there it is. We're watching the replays, but the final whistle is...
Unbelievable scenes from Cairo International Stadium as Algeria virtually knock out Nigeria on the final kick of the game. Sulaiman, final thoughts.
Well-deserved winners. Well-deserved winners. They haven't lost a game at this African Cup of Nations. They've only conceded 2 goals so far. Riyad Mahrez came out of his shell. What a goal. What a goal. I mean, you can see the shock on the face of the Nigerians, but Algeria deserves this. They've played well. They've been the better side in this game. Nigeria came out in the second half, but Ismail Benassa, Riyad Mahrez, Sofiane Feghouli, these guys have been great today.
It will be Senegal versus Algeria in the Africa Cup of Nations final, a rematch from the group stage. It comes up on Friday. The third-place game will feature Tunisia taking on Nigeria. Thank you for watching here on beIN Sports. Bye for now.